Elbis and Elbis Album Review Show.
Right everyone, it's the Elbis and Elbis album review show. Johnny with Elbis.
Alright, pal.
Well, been better, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. Slightly new concept that we thought. Well,
£9 a month. You'd think for
Yeah.
£9 a month you'd get the a service that works.
yeah,
Really.
that's it.
Um,
What it is, to let you know what's been going on, we
I'm sick of
we
it.
decided we wanted to listen to an album tonight. Different class by.
I ain't even bothered about listening to it now.
Well, we've got to really, because it was going all right. We started listening to some songs on different class. We had a real good idea for the Elbis and Elbis album review show. Started recording it, and once again, Podomatic, £9 a month, and it deleted the thing. We didn't do the full lot. We just did the first couple of songs or whatever. But still, it's annoying. It's really annoying.
It's
So
happened
this-
twice now. Twice.
It has, yeah.
For
it
£9
has.
a month, I expect more.
So do I.
In fact, these
So
things
do
have
I.
started to go wrong as soon as we upgraded to £9 a month.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, it never used to go wrong before we was on the VIP package.
Well-
So, I mean, if this is... The idea is, the album review show, we're going to listen to an album, we're going to make some comments with it, we're going to sort of, if it's not a great album, you know, this is a type of review whereby we're not just saying good song, bad song, etc. We're going to look at the album in terms of how cohesive it is, in terms of the story it tells, all that. But, I mean, I don't know. I can see you're depressed now.
Well, I'm depressed, yeah. I'm absolutely sick of it, to be honest with you, because it's twice now. And
Yeah.
quite frankly, for £9 a month, I expect the best of the best.
Yeah.
And it's just not there at the moment. I'm sick of it. Sick
And,
of it.
and now we've got to listen to the same 3 songs again that we just listened
Yeah.
to and made
Well,
some
yeah.
good comments. We was in a good mood.
I was in a great mood. I was loving it. I was
Yeah.
loving it. And now I feel like the introduction to the world this possibly could be the introduction of Elbis and Elbis Radio, possibly. And I feel like it's just going to be real depressing now.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
Podomatic
know.
can't function properly for some reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to remember like what we said about it before. I mean, it's an album
It was
by Pulp, different
probably
class.
Something
It was released in
quite good.
about '95, wasn't it? And,
Oh yeah, it was alright. Yeah.
Not Pulp's first album. It's actually the 5th.
Yeah, a lot of people think this was the breakthrough album. No, it wasn't. 5th album for Pulp. They've been around
Correct.
since the 80s. So, that's a common misconception, you can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, I think we just get straight.
We'll
to the
just get
first song.
straight into the first few songs.
Well,
shall we?
I can tell you right now, the first song from different class, exceptional album. The first song.
Well, we'll decide at the end, shall
well,
we?
I suppose Misfits.
Misshapes.
Shapes, mistakes, misfits. Raised on doubt of broken biscuits.
Well, everyone, that was Misshapes.
We didn't listen to it. We didn't listen to it then because we've already listened to it.
Well, we're
It's
not-
a bloody
I
Podomatic.
listened to it 20 minutes ago, so what's the point in
So
that?
we used the power of modern technology, played you the beginning and then played you the
Well,
end.
let's just say, I'll say what I said before.
Mm.
Cracking start to an album.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good start, and in the narrative that we started to speak about.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well,
We've got to go back through
look,
that
there's a
then.
narrative. Look, this album. Listen, there's 2 types of albums. You get one type of album where you can have an album which starts start to finish, tells a story all the way through. Every song
Correct.
is a little piece of the
That's
story.
the type of album I like.
It's like a jigsaw, and
Yeah.
every song's a piece of it. Now, the other albums where each song is like a story in itself, which
Yeah.
is more like I'd say like a.
Well,
Imagine like a book that has separate
Yeah.
stories.
A
in
book
it.
of nursery rhymes
Yeah,
versus a novel.
yeah.
Now I
So,
prefer a novel.
I prefer a novel too.
Because
But
we are
let's
novel
not-
writers.
Well, let's
So
not.
that's why.
That's not to say that these albums, which have separate stories, like each song is a separate story, don't work, because I know some great albums that are like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple by one of my favourites, Billy Joel, as probably the viewers would know from the
Well,
normal,
we'll maybe review that another time. So
the
let's
normal
not drift off
episodes.
on
No, I'm
that.
not. I'm just saying, but I'm not saying that that type of albums don't work, but this different class. It's a narrative all the way through, and it works perfectly.
Well,
and that's
we'll
a cracking
find that
start
out,
to the
won't we?
narrative.
It's to me that song there, Misfits, Misshapes, whatever it's called, that could open any musical.
It could.
They would all be there dancing. They'd be in the
Oh,
theatre.
they'd be loving it. They would.
The
yeah.
curtains would go back, and you'd have the cast sort of dancing around and all.
Well,
Quite
yeah.
jolly and all that. I think it'd be quite good. Now, we did, in the last attempt, thank you very much, Podomatic again, £9 a month.
Titters.
We did develop a rating system for songs. And the rating system for songs was, if it was on the radio, if you just started doing your business or whatever, and it was on the radio, would you turn it up, would you turn it off, or would you just stay the same? Now, Misshapes for me, I would turn it up.
I'd crank it right up. I'd crank it to the max because it's a great song,
Bloody good song.
brilliant start to a brilliant album, and I think, and
listen along.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening to this review, listen along with us.
Just because we're not listening to these first few, don't mean you don't have to.
Yeah, so
we listened to them earlier.
Yeah, we have. We've done our work. Have a listen. It's a great album, and that's a great start.
Well, we'll decide at the end.
All right,
keep giving it away.
Well, it's a good album, isn't it?
We'll see.
Let's get into the next one.
All right, Pencil Skirt. Actually, I might listen to this. It's good.
Great song.
Well.
When you raise your pencil skirt like a veil before my eyes, like the look upon his face.
Well, that was Pencil Skirt.
Jesus! God! Okay. Yeah.
Well, that was Pencil Skirt. You can probably guess what song comes next on the album.
Yeah.
But I think
that's because I'm so stressed out.
Well, yeah. I think with Pencil Skirt, it's a real change in tempo. The first song, Misshapes, to the start of the album, straight into it. It's high tempo. It's a really good way to start the album. This one, it slows it all down. But I think this song, it's a real mature song.
For me, the second song sets the narrative because if you think about it, Misshapes or Misfits, whatever it's called, that could be used to open the musical, and it could be any musical. It's the second song which then sets the pace of the album. That's just the opening. It's like saying we're here.
Yeah.
You know, welcome to the album.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying. The second song then sets the pace, and that's what's this one called? Pencil Skirt. Yeah.
Pencil Skirt.
That's what this has just done. Now, if we listen to what the song's about, it's the person who's singing the song. He's
a perv.
Well, we don't know that yet, but he's a bit.
Sounds like it to me.
He's seen someone who he likes. Let's just say that. And it sounds to me as well, if you look at the lyrics, which we did have up in the first take, which we haven't anymore.
Well, I can't be bothered, quite frankly.
I mean, But this attractive girl or lady that he's seen, she has probably a bloke, and he's looking at both of them. Now, I think that might be
that's highly likely.
I think that might become important for later on in the album.
Well, there's the lyrics to Pencil Skirt anyway. But
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, for me, this is a really mature song. I know that you before when we did this.
Yeah, last time. Yeah, about that.
You spoke about how you used to, when you used to listen to this song as a young lad.
Yes.
You used to just turn it off straight away and skip to the next song.
Well, I bought this album in 1995, and I did. I used to listen to the first song, Misfits, whatever it's called, and then when this used to come on. I used to hear the beginning of it, and I used to skip it, and that's when I used to be a genius and have the radio on the side of the bath, which I worked out how to do with an extension cord and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't bother to tell them stories anymore. It's time around. So
well, I think this really mature song, but
you've said that 3 times now.
Well, you know what?
Triple mature.
You know what? Going to the next song. I'm sick of it.
This is kind of where we've got to.
Whatever. This is Common People.
Here's your next song.
And if you don't know it, you're an idiot.
Well.
She came from Greece.
I remember this class this time.
Well, that was Common People. Look, one of the most iconic songs
Certainly is.
ever
Very
written, I
iconic.
think, ever performed, definitely. For me, it just sums up the 90s, that song. It's sort of peak Britpop.
Well, it's like that is the song what I heard, and it made. Well, I bought that song as a single, "Common People," back in '95, and I got the CD single and one of the B sides. I had a couple, but I can't remember both of them. But one of the B sides was "Underwear," which,
Fantastic.
as you know, you'll find out later. It's one of my favourite songs, "Underwear." And I listened to both of them, and I just thought, oh, this sounds like quite a good band. So I bought this album, Different Class, on the strength of that song. Now, in years that have passed, I mean, God, they played that song everywhere, every day, every minute of every day. You switched it on a radio, went in a pub, that song was on. And to be honest, it started to grind on me a little bit and warm me down. So we didn't do the rating system on the second one, which was another turn it up from me.
I'd turn Common People up.
I'd keep it the same. I love it. I'm not slagging it off. It's a victim of its own success. For my own personal ears, I've heard it as many times as I want to hear it really in my lifetime. But I still love it. It's
I
still
do
a great
know
song.
what you
I
mean.
completely respect
I
it.
completely know what you mean. It's
but
one of them
I've
songs
heard it a
that
lot.
it's overplayed because it's
So good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
that
not
can,
its fault. Or
but
Jazz's
yeah, that's what I
fault.
mean. I don't want that to
Or any
hurt
of
the
the
song
members.
because it is a fantastic song in its own right. But I think I do understand what you're saying there, but there's no taking away that is
Yeah, it's
a
classic.
brilliantly crafted
It's
song.
classic.
The words are genius.
Yeah.
It sounds brilliant, and obviously,
Now,
you
can we
know,
talk about
the
the
success of
narrative?
it? It speaks for itself. Well, I think the narrative there, for me, I'm getting a vibe of like a lad, like when we talk about misshapes, a lad and he's like walking misshapes.
Misfits.
No, misshapes.
Oh yeah, but it says misfits as well, so he's like a misfit. This lad, do you think?
Yeah. I don't think he's sort of. I think he's at school. I don't think he's sort of seen. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just sort of keeps himself to himself.
Sounds young.
He
doesn't
just he just wants to go to school, get it over and done with.
Yeah, yeah.
He hasn't really got many mates around. Maybe he's got one friend. He probably has one friend who's like
I
his
don't give
best
him
mate.
any.
Alright,
I
then
don't
you
see
don't
him as
have
having
any.
any. Yeah.
He's just a nobody basically.
Mm.
Anyway, he's like I think he should just like misshapes should just be when he's like wandering to school or whatever.
Yeah.
You get to see him and that. He walks into school.
Pencil skirt.
He
Sees
clocks a girl. He
Yeah,
clocks a
sees
girl.
a girl,
Real
attractive.
attractive girl. Refreshing girl.
Refreshing. Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah.
And
He'd like to get to know
I think
her,
yeah, and I think this with Common People, I think
But she's got a boyfriend.
yeah.
She has
in
got a
Pencil
boyfriend.
Skate, yeah, she has.
And I think he's popular, the boyfriend.
And I think
she's
he's pretty popular, yeah.
Whereas this guy's a misfit.
Oh yeah, they're well known. They're well known.
Yeah.
But I think with Common People, I think this girl should be of the high, of the upper class. I think this kid should be maybe
Council estate.
living on a council estate. There's not really much going for him in his life. His mum's like a down and out or something.
Yeah.
And his dad's not even
Well,
there.
deadbeat dad.
Well, yeah. Well, he might even be dead, possibly.
Yeah,
Or
I
like
think
just
deadbeat-
left or something.
deadbeat,
Yeah, he's just probably
Just
left
deadbeat.
and gone.
Yeah.
And anyway, this girl who is like this attractive girl that is
Yes.
seen is of the upper class, and she's like got a nice family and a nice house or whatever.
So this is where the common people thing comes in.
This is where that comes in, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually think there's a bit of sort of anger in this song if you listen to the words. I know it's a jolly song and everybody dances to it and stuff, but if you listen to it, it's like as if it's, you know, like you said about this girl maybe being a bit upper class or whatever, but like pretending she's a bit cool and all that.
See, I don't. I think I know what you mean. I think the lyrics, when you actually look at the lyrics, they are pretty. I do agree. Like when he says,
There's a bit of anger in there.
like, what does he say? What does he say? Something
I don't know.
You will never live like common people.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That sounds like he's having a go, but I don't think that should be used in that meaning. I think he's starting to like this girl, and he's sort of thinking a lower class with an upper class.
Okay, shall we see what comes next?
Merging them together and that.
You know,
Yeah, what comes next?
See what comes next. I think it's I Spy.
I believe it is, yeah. that was I Spy.
Great song.
Brilliant song.
Great song.
And obviously, if make sure you're listening along.
Yeah. Well, I'm ashamed to say that that's another song that I used to skip when I first bought the album.
But
now I'm older, I love it.
Because it's a mature song. Again, it's similar to Pencil Skirt, really.
Do you think it sounds
slow.
a bit like Pet Shop Boys? You know, it's a sin.
No.
It does a bit to me.
Because I think on this, it's a sin's quite quick, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
but
a high tempo
sort
song.
Of same undercurrent.
Well, I think they both use similar instruments, but
yeah,
with this, it's the tempo is really slow. It's quite a long song, but then there's a bit in it where it just takes off.
Yeah.
And that I think Pulp are really good at that. They'll start a song slow and then it'll just kick in.
Yeah.
And it'll sort of take you by surprise. They're really good at doing that.
Excellent.
And this is a brilliant example with I Spy. And I think in the narrative, you look at the narrative.
I've got to say that Pulp are very good at a narrative within a song.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And really even across the whole album, as you will find.
Well, let's wait and see.
But I think with the narrative here, I think probably he's sort of he's
spying, isn't he?
Yeah, he's spying.
He's hiding behind walls now. And he's looking over walls and bushes, and he's just like.
And I think, but he's not only looking at the girl. He's looking at her boyfriend and looking at them two together. Do you know what I mean?
You mean
as a couple,
as a jealousy type of.
Like he's jealous of the couple.
Putting himself in his position, perhaps.
Possibly, yeah. No, he's not. Let's just say he's not happy that she's got a boyfriend.
Right. Yeah.
I think at this point, and I think it's turning into something quite sinister.
I think it's getting sinisterish.
But again, a brilliant song. It's quite long, but I think the way Common People and the next song are positioned in the album break the start of the album up well. And
let's wait till after the next song before we decide that, shall we?
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Well, the fans might not.
Well, I think you'll know the song.
I think you'll know the song. It's Disco 2000.
Well, that was Disco 2000. Fantastic song. Again, probably, with Common People, the most popular song on the album, probably.
Yeah, certainly commercially in terms of its success and stuff. And again, another song I loved back in the day when that came out. I think that one came out in about '96, I think.
Well, with this song, bit of done my research. I've done my research.
Yeah,
bit of a backstory to this song. This song,
go on, then.
It's Jarvis Cocker wrote it about Deborah. It's an actual girl who went to his school, and sadly she died when she was about. Well, I don't know how old she was, but he sang
before he wrote the song, or
no, after he sang it at her 50th birthday.
When she was
I think she had
on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so. Or I think she had cancer, so she might have been dying. But she actually had an MBE.
Did she?
Deborah
really?
did, yeah.
What for, do you know?
Yeah, it was something to do with
No, it doesn't matter.
Psychology or something.
Sounds like a great woman.
But yeah, top woman, top song.
Well, it's another one. I'll compare it again to Common People. I was around at the time, and believe me, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was everywhere when it came out in '96, and then as soon as it approached the year 2000, it was everywhere again, as you might imagine.
You see, for me, this song, if it came on, I'd crank it up because
I'd leave it the same.
I really love Disco 2000. I think it's better than Common People. Disco 2000.
I think I slightly prefer Common People, but to me, they're the two songs on this album which I probably don't listen to because I've just heard them thousands of times.
Yeah.
But I'm not slagging the songs off.
Oh no.
Victims of their own success, as I said. So still great songs, but
now in terms of the narrative, is Disco 2000 for you in the right place there?
In terms of, interesting point actually.
Now following the narrative, we've gone through all the songs. It's got to a point where this kid, he's clocked this girl,
I find it difficult.
and she's got a bloke.
Yeah.
And now he's really spying with I Spy. Now, is Disco 2000
It
in the
could
right place
be.
there?
It could be, because Disco 2000, I don't know if this is just to me, but Disco 2000 to me suggests sort of leaving school type thing. So to me, it seems like there's something missing from him spying behind a wall.
I think he's sort of looking to the
leaving school.
he's looking to the future. I
To
think
me, it seems a bit misplaced, if I'm really honest.
yeah. Would you have this song later on in the narrative? Do you think?
Well, I would usually say it depends what comes next, but I know what comes next.
I know what comes next.
And so, because of that, I would say yes. I think it needs to be later in the album.
Yeah, I
to
think
make
it does.
properly
Yeah, I
cohesive.
agree with you there. I think it needs to be late. I think on the album when you listen to it, I think it's in the correct place as listening to it as individual songs because it breaks the album up. That start, you've got songs like.
But we're writers, aren't we? When I listen to an album, I have a musical in my head when I listen to an album. I think, could I put a musical to this album? And this song here, because I do know this album, you was pretending not. This song here in this position, as a world-class scriptwriter, musical writer, all that, I can do it.
Well, I can as well.
This song here, obviously. This song here...
Perform it as well.
Perform it, yeah. This song here gives me a stumbling block. I would call it a stumbling block in terms of the narrative.
Yeah.
So, potentially...
But what I'd say is...
Oh, I don't know if we mentioned this earlier. This isn't the type of review, by the way, where we just slag an album off.
No, absolutely not.
We will tell the artist exactly how
constructive criticism. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll tell them exactly how they can improve.
But what I think is with this,
and we will do later.
To be fair, I think Disco 2000's in the correct place to listen to because when you listen to the album, you've got it straight away with Misshapes, which is quite fast paced, but then you've got Pencil Scare, which slows it down, and then you've got Common People, which again is fast. Then I Spy, which is slow. The tempo is slow. It's quite a long song as well.
Yeah, but the narrative.
I think it splits it up. I think it splits the first part up, and I think the reason for that is Jarvis Cocker could put this album together himself. He put it in a different order, but I think when you've got like a record label and they're producing the album, they need people to listen to it.
I see what you mean.
And I think listening to it was if you had two songs which were slow tempo.
Yeah.
But one bang after another,
anyway.
you know what I mean? I don't think it'd work.
Let's
so I think they're in the perfect place. It
makes
it easy to. The fact that they're there makes it easy to listen.
Let's hear the next song and see if it follows Disco 2000.
Well,
let's see if it goes I Spy, Disco 2000, and then the next song.
Well, I think if it's Disco
Live
2000
Bed Show or Live Bed Show, you cannot tell the difference between Live and Live when written in English properly. Which
one of the biggest debates, isn't it?
I always remember I got a CD and it was like an Oasis CD. On the back it said "Live Forever, Live from Glastonbury." And I remember thinking, how do you know? Could it be live forever, live at Glastonbury? Do you know what I mean? You can't tell, can you?
It could be.
Fault in the English language. There you go.
Yeah.
Found one.
We always found faults.
Yeah, well, anyway, let's listen to... Is it Live or Live Bed Show?
Live or Live Bed Show.
She doesn't have to go to work, but she doesn't want to stay in bed. Something comfortable to something else instead.
Well, that was Live or Live Bed Show.
Cracking song.
Brilliant song. Brilliant.
Absolutely cracking that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Utterly professional.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What was we just on about? Yeah.
Live Bed Show.
Bed Show. Yeah, fantastic. Again, I think it's something. I mean, I would definitely turn it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's sinister. I think
I do.
Quite sinister.
I think
that, and again, I think it emphasises my point that Disco 2000's in the wrong place. We won't argue about that too much for now. We'll sort it later. But for me, that follows on from I Spy, because I Spy to me is as if this person is spying. Now, to me, this is more sinister. It's kind of like he's stepped up a level with his spying.
Now, what I said earlier is with this song. I think what I said earlier about the way Pulp sort of starts the song slow, the tempo is slow, and then it kicks in. This is another example of that. It starts real slow. Yeah. He's basically not even singing the words, he's sort of talking the words at first.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few songs where he's sort of talking the words. This is one of them, and then it kicks in, and then the tempo starts going, and then it ends with like a slow tempo.
Well, this is why...
Really good song, though. Lyrics are brilliant, and I think you're right in that it is quite sinister.
It is sinister. Yeah.
Now, in the order of the narrative, I'd say this would probably go quite early. This would probably go. I'd probably put it after.
I Spy.
Yeah,
Fits
yeah,
perfectly
yeah,
after
yeah,
I Spy.
yeah,
Definitely.
after
Disco
I Spy.
2000 doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, I
So
think
it
I-
sort of needs just removing
So
for now.
I'd replace that with Disco 2000.
But I
However,
must-
I wouldn't even put Disco 2000 back in. I'd sort of take that out and I'd take.
Well, let's just leave it.
Yeah, just take that
That's
out,
the only
yeah.
one that's needed to be took out. now.
Yeah, I'd take that out. Yeah.
But this song makes me fully realise now how ashamed I am of my younger self. Because again, this is something where I would sort of knock it on. But the reason is
it's a mature song. It's a mature song.
But it's like you said, it's
when you're young, you don't realise.
It's like they start off slow sometimes, Pulp songs. And when I was young,
Well,
you
I
know,
said that, didn't I?
like I was, you know, the man about town and stuff like that. I didn't have a lot of time.
Well,
I didn't have a lot of time to be stood around and everything. So
God.
if a song come on and it wasn't satisfying me within sort of 15 seconds, it was just next song, please. You know, but now I'm a bit older and chilled out. I
Mature.
get to hear the full thing. But you know, if I could have a word with young Elvis, I would say to him, "Hey,
Sort it out.
get listening to the full song."
Yeah, I'd say that, and make sure I'd actually say to the Elvis and Elbis audience,
Make sure you listen to the full thing.
make sure you're listening because listen along. You know, see what you think about it as well.
Give
Leave
it
a comment
Yeah.
and see what you're
Dislike.
thinking so far.
Dislike.
Yeah, make sure you dislike. Anyway, next song.
Something Changed.
Great song.
It is a good song.
Something changed. Something changed is the name of the song.
Phenomenal song.
Brilliant,
Phenomenal
brilliant.
song.
I think something changed. Again, it's quite slow, really, and I think what we just said there with he sort of talks the words at some.
That for me is one of the best songs, and every time.
God.
That for me is one of the best songs on the album. In terms of it being a standalone song,
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. That really good. Really
Now,
good.
for me, narrative-wise, with the narrative we're sort of creating through these songs, now something changed.
Oh, I can
implies
say
that
something better change.
Something has to change. There,
Yeah, it does.
really.
Yeah, now something has to change.
But
in
at
terms
this
of
moment
narrative.
in time of the narrative, I don't think something has changed yet.
No, but if it changes afterwards, then we'll forgive it. But this could be another misordered song.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think it is. I think it is a misordered song. I don't think it should be there.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you know the album order, don't you? I suppose.
No, but what I'm saying,
Oh.
but when you listen to what we've got so far,
Yeah, it just got real sinister, hasn't it?
yeah, and
So-
I don't think you can just go real sinister and then
This
just
could be
change
at the
for
end of
nothing.
the album. So everything's been sinister,
Yeah.
and then at the end something changed, and then maybe a happy song after.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
would work.
I think so.
But it does depend what comes next. So I mean,
Well,
let's
yeah,
not
yeah.
judge
Yeah.
them
I'm
too
not.
much
Yeah, I
about
won't jump in too much about the narrative, but
Mm.
I would say something changed. Fantastic song. I mean, listen, I can talk. You can talk about the lyrics of any of these songs.
Mm.
All written beautifully.
Yeah.
Lyrics are fantastic.
Yeah.
Just, it's obviously you can tell it's a genius at work. So, do you believe that there's someone up above, and does he have a timetable directing acts of love?
Good that, innit?
That's a genius at work to me.
That's like stuff
that
I
is-
write.
Well,
It is
there we
like
go.
stuff I write. That is good. That.
Anyway, next song.
Nod to Jarvis, I would say.
Well, I'd crank it up, by the way. Something changed.
Next one is Sorted Out. Oh no, not Sorted Out.
It's not
Sorted for Ease and Whiz.
Idiot.
Oh, don't forget it's got like 9
Oh,
sides.
yeah, got you. Could probably leave it on for longer.
Yeah.
And if you heard Monkey there,
Sorry
well,
about
ignore it. We do it.
that.
What if you never come down?
Brilliant.
Well,
Brilliant.
yeah, it is good. And another. Every
God.
time, innit? I know, sorry, I get carried away. Another good one, yeah, another commercial one. Now I'm struggling to remember if that was actually a single or if it was a B-side on Common People. If it was a B-side on Common People, then if you had Underwear that and Common People, that had been a brilliant
Hell of
single.
it. Yeah, hell of a
I might be
single.
wrong. That might have been a single, but
No, what I will say on the lyrics, I always, because obviously I've done my research again here with this song, and
Yeah.
this song is actually about Spike Ireland, you know, the Stone Roses.
yeah,
that concert
good
that
band, good band.
and it's basically this. He was talking. Jarvis Cocker was talking to this girl who'd been, and she said that the way that people were like talking was they were saying, "Is everyone sorted out for Ease and Wiz?"
All right.
So he took sorted for Ease and Wiz
Yeah.
and sort of expanded on it, wrote the song.
Yeah.
But I always thought when it says, "Everybody asks your name, they say we're all the same," and now it's nice one, keys out. I always thought it was
Because
it's
what could
like
that possibly mean?
because it's like a key. You know, like when
Yeah.
people like do drugs and that, they do it off a key.
Oh, well, I don't know. You seem to know a lot about this.
No, well, I've seen it on shows and
With
that.
Mary Jane the other week.
Well, God,
Oh,
other week.
I don't know, mate. I don't know, mate.
I've seen it on bloody shows.
Yeah, well, you're always getting your infections from being out partying.
Right.
I'm starting to wonder.
Stop it there. Tell you that. You can
You know,
nip that in the bud.
It's a bit weird.
Bloody
Isn't it? So
cool.
what is it then? So it's,
I
I
the
do
rum-
know what you mean.
I know the bloody rumours you've been trying to
So
start.
when they say about the keys,
God.
they do cocaine off a key.
Yeah, but it's actually
But
nice
it's
one.
still-
Geezer.
Yeah,
I
it's
always thought it was
geezer.
keys
I
out.
always knew it was geezer. It's
Yeah.
as clear as a bell,
Whatever.
honestly.
Anyway.
But anyway, it's for me, even though it's commercial and I've heard it 55,000 times, the same as I have Disco 2000 and what's the other one, Common People. I don't get bored of this one. I think it used to be my favourite. When I first bought the album, this used to be my favourite.
If you're in a car and it comes on the radio, what
It's
you
still
doing?
one of my best. It's
Are
still
you
one of my
cranking that
best.
up? You're turning it off. You're
Ah.
turning it down, or you're leaving it?
For me, it's getting turned up.
It's getting turned up
Definitely
for me.
getting
It's
turned up,
fantastic.
Yeah. Turned up and
it's such a
windows
great song.
down.
Now I think in the narrative, I think possibly with this song, maybe.
Well, it was something changed beforehand.
Yeah.
And so something has changed, and so it kind of makes a bit of sense. But it depends again on where the next song goes.
I think maybe he takes drugs or something, possibly.
Well,
Because he's a young kid, isn't he?
does.
But he's getting to that. I think he's getting to that stage in life where.
Yeah, it could be a bit.
I think
older
maybe he
than that.
goes to like a party or something. But he's in no.
Well, we'll
What if-
figure
I
it
think
out.
maybe-
We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah. I think he.
But something has
Possibly
changed. So
take
for the
drugs,
moment, I'm sort of willing to leave something's changed where it is. I think at number 7 or something, innit? I'm sort of willing, but we'll see what comes next, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it depends on what comes next.
And I think next is one of my favourites.
It
and,
is, it's
one of your
the-
favourites.
It certainly is, yeah. It's the song with the most full stops in the title in history,
Yeah.
or for our American friends, periods.
Never knew that.
What?
Periods.
Period is a full stop.
Period is full stop in
in
America.
America, yeah. And the name of this song is
Weird that.
FEELIN.
Well, it's feeling called love, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but you don't say that.
Well, it's got the full stops though, so I'm respecting them. And they're all capital letters. But never mind, let's have a listen, shall we?
Well, go on then.
This is sinister.
Well, that was feeling called love.
And that was sinister, in my
It
opinion.
was brilliant.
That
It was
really
sinister. Yeah.
Really
Brilliant.
sinister. I mean,
Fantastic,
wow,
though.
that has cranked some things
And
up.
again, the perfect
Okay.
example of the song starts slow, is almost talking the words, and then it just kicks in, takes you by surprise, and the tempo just rises.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic song. It
Absolutely
really is a
brilliant.
fantastic song. It's
Yeah.
quite a long one though, but
6 minutes and a second, I believe.
still, it's a brilliant song. I think if we talk about the position where it is on the album, as Pulp present it, I think
Yeah.
it's in a good
Things have
position.
turned really dark now.
I think it's in a good
Things have
position.
turned really
Well, I'm
dark.
talking about where Pulp have put it on the album. I think
Oh,
it's in a
right,
good position.
Okay, yeah, I'm not about the narrative.
I think the
mate.
narrative,
Always writing stories.
it's turning
Conjuring
dark.
stories.
It's turning.
It has taken a dark. thing.
Turn.
Yeah, yeah.
It's turning. Yeah, I think it is. It's turning very dark now, and I think what was you've got something changed, sort of reason with. I'd probably put this before them. Would you not?
Don't know. We'll discuss it later.
maybe
but
not. Maybe
I
not.
think the sorted reason whiz thing. If you've got drugs,
Would you say
involved,
sorted for reason with?
Perhaps. I think something changed.
Maybe he takes drugs.
I don't think
then it
something
turns
has
sinister,
changed now.
and then something changed.
Yeah, because it went from what was it, I Spy.
Would you say something change to make it more sinister, or does something
I
change
think-
later
I
on
think-
possibly still?
I would remove something changed from the playlist now. So we've removed Disco 2000. We've removed
Something changed.
Something changed, because I don't think it's changed yet, because he's back to being sinister.
Right.
It was
okay.
sinister
Just
earlier. it's
are,
sinister again.
are we removing Sartrees and Wiz?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Keeping it there?
I think it could work because it's about. It's slightly different, but if he was taking some drugs or something, I believe it was an anti-drug song actually when it came out. But never mind. Like it does give you the impression that maybe he's took a few things and that.
Yeah.
And then, but that doesn't change the fact that it's sinister. The fact that it could actually add to it. So I think that could work. So for me, I'd remove Disco 2000 and Something Changed for now.
Right.
Put them at the side. We'll probably put them back in, but let's see if they fit.
Right.
Like I say, we're improving the album. We're not slagging it off. We're improving.
We're changing it from different class
Improvement
to world class.
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. So
next song.
Oh yes, you're gonna like this one.
I already know what it is.
Oh yes.
Crank it up. Why don't you shut the door and close the curtains? 'Cause you're not going anywhere. Oh yeah, I wanna see you. Wanna see you standing in your underwear. Yeah. What a brilliant song.
Possibly my favourite on the entire album.
I'd say it's my favourite.
One of the strangest opening lines ever.
It is, yeah.
Don't you
Well,
shut the door.
it's sinister, isn't it? It's bloody sinister.
It is sinister, and it's very clear now things are sinister.
Things are sinister right now.
They're being sinister all the way through, so I would definitely...
Listen, this is an album review, if you didn't know, and I think
it's kind
for
of
the review purposes, I think, first of all, Underwear, from start to finish, is fantastic. It's a great listen. I think it's perfectly placed on the album.
I would smash that on karaoke, to be honest, me and you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think we...
Yeah,
I think
we should maybe release it as a Christmas single. We should consider it.
It's for the Patreons, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Well, you only get to pay to see Elbis and Elbis do karaoke.
Yeah, but what a song! Honestly,
brilliant.
It's absolutely fantastic.
I think the lyrics are fantastic. It tells a story.
Heavy story,
but it does tell a story, and I think in this narrative that Elbis and I are creating, I think things are getting very sinister. I think things are sinister rather than getting there. I think
we find ourselves in a dark place. Let's just say.
I think we're already there, and I think this is possibly where something big happens. Possibly, it's sort of the song that seems like it's the song that would sort of.
Yeah, this is kind of when you're writing a film like we do quite a lot.
Well, yeah, we do. Yeah,
the sort of the big expose, if you like, the big action point isn't at the very end. Usually, it's just before the end, isn't it?
Yeah,
if this is hung on at track 10, this is almost like the apex, the culmination of the story in a way. And then you would hope that now the rest of the album is kind of like a downward slope.
It's sort of like the final.
What happened afterwards?
The final acts of Sharkface. If you look at that,
From that was action packed from start to finish.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie.
There's no point really.
And if you want to listen to it, go on the channel, get the Sharkface compilation up.
Yeah.
Listen to it. 40 minutes of pure
genius
in film writing. It's brilliant.
There's
anyway,
no point,
what was we doing?
No point comparing Sharkface to any traditional literature because it's new. It's different.
That is genius. Anyway, Underwear, I'd crank it up and that.
Definitely.
And the whatever. Yeah. Anyway, next song I think.
Well, there's only 2 left. We'll get these out of the way, and then what we'll do is we'll tell you how this album could be better. Bloody good album.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Could be better.
Could be world class.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Anyway, this one's called Monday Morning.
Well, that was Monday Morning.
Now, for me, that's a song full of regret. Every time, innit? Ignore that bit. For me, that's a song full of regrets.
Utterly professional, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think with that song, brilliant song again. I think Monday Morning actually is sort of like an underrated gem in a way. I think
It is, yeah, and I think in terms of album placement, regardless of narrative, regardless of anything, I think it's ideally placed, almost at the end. I want a refund. I want a refund. I want a light. I don't know what that means, but the refund bit, it's almost like I regret what's happened so far in this story.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And I like the
it's
way-
like a reflection on what's
Yeah.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think possibly
I think it's good that.
maybe is that where something changes possibly. Something
Mm.
changes and then there's a
Could
he wants
be.
a refund possibly on life.
Could be. Something changed possibly
I think
just
that's
before this, actually.
Well, yeah.
Because something
Yeah,
changes.
I'd
and
probably
then-
put that just
Well,
before.
let's get to that later.
But yeah,
Let's get to that.
actually,
Interesting how you put that back in.
Yeah, I
very
think
interesting.
I think this is perfectly placed not only on the album from a marketing point of view, but it's perfectly placed in the narrative as well.
It's the type of song you would want near to the end of any album.
Yeah,
Pretty
and,
much,
and I think
pretty
the
much.
penultimate,
Yeah.
it's got the penultimate spot, and I think it's perfect. I won't change it. So brilliant.
Shall we finish this album off then?
Let's go for it. This should be, I believe, the final
Baritalian.
song. Baritalia.
Baritalia, yeah.
Baritalia.
Baritalia, whatever. Oh, yes.
If you can stand, I would like. The final song of the album, Baritalia, bloody fantastic song. And a great way to end the album, and I think it's a fantastic way to end the narrative as well, to be honest.
A song fit to end any album or any musical. I can imagine.
I think it's music, yeah.
end of a
I was
musical.
just about to say it'd be a great
Yeah.
way to end the play.
Yeah, we gotta move. Everybody's like,
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
sweat
yeah,
and
dance
dance
or
and all
something.
that. And
Yeah,
then they blow the
yeah.
curtains, and then they come out and have a bow and all this business.
Yeah.
That could end any musical. It could end any album. Great ending. Can't complain about that whatsoever.
No, I
Great
can't.
song.
I can't.
Turn it up. I would say.
I'd
Turn it up.
absolutely crack
Turn
it
it
up. I think
So,
the last
I mean-
two. I think the last two songs in the album, Baritalia and Monday Morning. I think.
Great ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
will
change
not
them
be
both.
moved.
I'd
They
keep
will
them
not be
there
moved. Yeah.
because I think they complement each other, and I think they're brilliant endings.
I agree.
to
I agree.
I think they're both quite quick as well. They're quite quick tempo, which
which is
sounds
nice
quite
because
positive
of all the sinisterism
in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that a
it-
word?
Don't know.
Sinisterism?
Brings you out of it though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You start with misshapes and you dip in, and then you get into a real dark place. with
Yeah,
it all,
and then it sort
pulls
of
you out.
comes out at the
John.
end. Yeah.
Takes you on that.
It's a
ride,
real
which
roller
is
coaster
really-
ride. Yeah,
It is a roller
really
coaster.
is. That's how
It's a roller coaster with one dip. Oh, actually, no, it's not because they've got Disco 2000.
Yeah.
I would rate it as a roller coaster. I prefer a roller coaster with one good dip. For me, one good dip is better
Yeah,
than several
yeah,
shallow
yeah.
ones. So there we go. So I think, great ending to the album. Love the ending to it.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant way to end an album. Brilliant way to end a narrative and a play and a musical. I think really
now
we
we've
should
done
just
that. Well, I
get into
just
how-
want to say
how we
one
do-
thing. For me, we've used the turn it up, turn it off, or keep it the same scale all the way through. Well, when we've remembered.
Yeah.
So for me, every song would be turn it up, except for Common People and Disco 2000, which would stay the same. But that's only because I've heard them 55,000 times.
Yeah.
For you, it'd be turn it up all the way through.
Yeah, it would be for me. Yeah,
Just
I
listen
think
to it
I think
loud.
honestly, I would
Listen to it loud.
genuinely say I think it's the one of, if not the greatest album ever. This.
That's a big claim.
Jeez, I
Well,
genuinely.
If we ever do this again, and don't worry, everybody, this
From
is
start to
purely-
finish, it's a story.
This is
It's a
purely
story.
because we was bored tonight. We had nothing to do.
Well, yeah.
It was a Saturday night, and we was going to listen to different class.
Well,
So we thought, why don't we just record the comments in between? Then there was a Podomatic incident, but never mind about that. Season 2 is coming. This in a new.
we haven't
direction
bloody
or
wrote
anything.
the story yet, have we?
Well, the next time we do one of these is when we're listening to an album that we want to do it on. So it's not a scheduled event or anything. So don't get excited.
And that'll
Oh,
come
don't be
when
good.
Podomatic sorts itself out
Yeah.
and we can upload stuff.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
whatever.
sick of it.
But in any case, let's talk about how we could make this album better.
Well, I think there's a few ways we could make it better.
Well, for me,
possibly.
I wouldn't change any of the songs. I don't think I could improve any of the songs. That's a big thing for me to say.
I think possibly. I think not even possibly. I think certainly this collective of songs is brilliant. I think it's a brilliant album. For me, it's not the songs I want to change; it's the order.
I would certainly change the order. Yeah, and I know what I want.
And I've always said,
shall we run through and let's say?
I've always said, if you're gonna make a narrative with some songs, make sure they're in the right order. And I've always said that.
It's a good saying.
I have always said that.
Now let's start from the beginning then, and we'll chat about the order and if there's anything we could do to improve it.
Yeah.
So we started with Misshapes. Just to remind everybody,
this is Misshapes.
That'll do for me. Now we said, didn't we?
Perfect start.
Way to
Perfect start.
That don't get moved.
That don't get moved.
No. But how do you see if you was making a film about this or a play? What do you see going on?
I see right now with Misshapes. I see a young lad getting up, getting his school stuff on, eating his breakfast, and walking to school. That's all I see.
What's he look? I think he's a bit of a nerd.
I think he's a.
He's not popular. He's a bit of a nerd.
I think he's a bit scruffy. Actually, I think possibly has glasses on.
Yeah.
Not
that there's that wrong with that.
Oh God, no. Well, I wear them sometimes.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Well, I don't really wear them that much.
No.
But anyway, I mean, I think he's just walking to school. I think. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But he's loving it though. It's like, I'm making a movie.
Is he loving it?
Doing it now. Yeah. I think he's quite happy.
I think he's getting on with it.
He's pretty happy.
I think. Actually, I think he's happy with his own company.
Let's go to number 2, Pencil Skirt.
When you raise your pencil skirts like a veil before my eyes.
I think again, that sort of kickstarts the narrative. That
I think it does.
That's where the story starts, and I think
she's an attractive female
woman.
Girl, probably he's a kid, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, an attractive, well, an attractive female entity.
Okay, that sounds like a ghost. He's an attractive lass in school. Yeah.
And he's loving it, and she's got a bloke.
Yes,
and
he does.
He's not like that keen on that, but he's not really looking at the bloke at this point. He's just focused on the girl.
Read the words to this. Get the lyrics up, and it's like, "I'll do when he's not in town." So it's kind of fantasizing.
I'll be around when he's not in town.
That's it. Yeah. So it's kind of fantasizing about but it's quite innocent, I think, at the moment. It's just a schoolboy crush.
Oh yeah, he is.
No, it's a schoolboy crush.
Yeah.
It's a schoolboy crush.
He's innocent, but he's not thinking innocent. I don't think.
So let's move to number 3, Common People, which is an interesting one. We know what this goes like. That'll do. I've made it 50,001 times now.
I think it's in a good order. I think I will move it. Because I think that point in the story, what we said about him walking to school, I think he's a bit scruffy because he's lower class. He's like a council estate. He sees this girl. This girl's quite upper class.
I see what you're saying.
She appears well.
You get aggression from him though through the lyrics. I find it quite an aggressive song, Common People, in a way. When you really look at the lyrics and stuff, it's like
I don't think it is. I don't think it's aggressive. I think the lyrics are aggressive, but the way they're sung and the way they're presented aren't aggressive at all. I think for me, I don't think it should come across aggressive.
I think a feeling of inferiority for him.
I think it's a feeling of. I think it's a feeling of a start of something new. I'd say, and a sort of a new feeling. Okay. I would say.
So let's just summarise this then. Where we are so far, there's some young lad. He's a bit of a nerdlinger, whatever. He's walking to school. He's sort of jolly, but not that jolly. But it's still quite nice.
He's happy in himself.
Sees this attractive young lady. He's like, "Oh, she's all right. She's got a bloke.
Well, she's all right.
They're a bit posher than him. They're from a better estate and stuff like that. Yeah. And he feels a bit inferior. Is that where we're up to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, and this works well. I Spy.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that'll do. Yes.
Anyway, I think that
I spy a boy, I spy a girl. So he's clearly spying on both of them.
Yeah.
And I think he's hiding behind a wall. He's hiding behind a hedge.
I think this is where it starts to turn just that little bit sinister. It's not quite there, but it's starting. I think this is the start of where he's getting a bit obsessed. I can imagine him doing some drawings or something like that, maybe. This girl. Okay. Yeah. But then the bloke's always in his back of his mind. Like he can't.
Maybe he's sat in the classroom and she's in there and he's drawing hair rather than doing his work.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. But I think the idea should be that he is struggling to think of her without thinking of him.
Right.
So he's sort of getting in the way. He's a bit like of an obstacle that he needs to somehow
boyfriend,
overcome.
is he, mate?
Yeah, and I think this kid, her and her boyfriend are very popular, and I think this kid might be her boyfriend might be like a rugby player or something like that, like a big lad who he knows physically.
Yeah,
he can't take on.
Right. So next up, and we've both said this when it came up, Disco 2000. It didn't work, does it?
No. I don't think so. I think it's too early.
So let's put that to one side. Let's write that down or do something with it. Write down. It's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, yeah.
Write down 5. Type it down or something.
Yeah, 1 to 5.
Yeah. So 1 to 4 remain the same. We've got 5 as a spare, which is common. Sorry, Disco 2000.
Oh, is Disco 2000?
Disco 2000 is a spare. 1 to 4 remain the same. Right. Next up is Live Bedshirt, and I think that follows I Spy perfectly. Let's listen to it.
She doesn't have to go to work, but she doesn't want
I
to
agree.
stay
Yeah.
in bed.
That'll do.
I want to play the bit where this bed has seen it all.
Well,
That's the wrong song.
Just give on it. Right, we've listened to it. We know. Listen. I think.
Oh, that.
That has seen it all.
So I think he's broken into a house. He's taking it up to a house. He's taking it to a new level
possibly.
now. He's
Possibly.
broken into a house.
Is that the 6th song on the album?
Yes.
Right.
When the parents are away.
I think he's broken.
He's broken and he's
like
smelling the bed. He's like touching the bed.
he's
running his
stroking
hands across the living.
He's in her room and he's sort of walking about. Maybe
He's got a dressing gown.
Yes, he has. Yeah. And maybe he's like going to a makeup table.
But he's just like pretending he's at home there. You know,
like he's been there before.
Yeah.
He's
But
really,
he's
he's like familiarising himself.
and he's picking up a
with
90 or pajamas or something. He's putting them through his fingers. He's like running them through his fingers and stuff.
He's
You know,
like
so it's
smelling
starting to get really sinister now.
Smelling her.
Yeah.
But,
That works. That works. Going
stuff.
from I Spy to that works really well. Now, if we look at the next one, it's Something Changed. Now that doesn't work yet.
No, I don't
we
think
know
it
what's
works.
coming
I
up
don't think
there.
it works.
So put number 7.
1 to 4 to 6.
So we've got 5 and 7 now.
So the order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 so far.
We're going to fit 5 and 7 in there.
Yeah.
Now, so after Something Changed, now it's Sorted for Ease and Whiz, which I think everybody knows, but we'll just do at the beginning. Oh God, I forgot the beginning takes about 55 seconds. Yeah, it's that one. So he could have taken some drugs.
I think so. I think with his story, he's a young kid. I think he's probably he's took some drugs, maybe at a party or something. I think maybe he sits next to this girl or something. I think this girl should know who he is.
The girl that he loves.
Yeah, and I think they'd maybe sit next to each other in a lesson, possibly, or they're in the same class or something. And she sort of gets him into the party, and that's where he takes drugs, I think.
Right, okay. To look cool. But then she's snogging her below.
Maybe that drives him. Maybe that drives him to take the drugs, possibly, because she's.
Right, okay, yeah.
Or he sees a bloke take drugs, so he thinks I'll take them as well.
I think what's key
likes.
here is the ease and whiz that he has. Right. I think it kind of adds to his psychosis in a way.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it makes him. He starts seeing.
And I think this is where something changes. I think.
No, I don't. No.
What, after the drugs?
No.
I think it starts to get more sinister.
No, it doesn't.
What?
I think. Well, I can't really say now, but I think Something Changes is near the end before the 2 happy songs at the end.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
I think you need Something Changes to get it over that hill.
Yeah,
because he's just taken these drugs and his psychosis has got even worse.
So this is where,
and that leads us into
Something Doesn't Change.
That fits perfectly into that.
Yeah, Feeling Called Love. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think
that is sinister.
Because I don't think anything's changed. He's still obsessed, but it's just turned up a notch. I think.
Yeah.
It's
what's
turned up
going through your head here with this, listening to this? I have to stop it, really, don't I?
I think he's like looking at her.
I think he's in class.
Yeah, I think he's like in class. I think she maybe comes in late, possibly, or something. or it's the day after. It's like the day after the party, or a couple of days after the party, and she just walks in, and he's like feeling like because the drugs are still he's still like thinking from the drugs. Maybe he's done it again. Maybe he's done
I
drugs
imagine
again.
a teacher who's on because it's in the 80s.
Maybe he's on drugs.
Do you agree this is in the 80s, by the way? I think this is in the 80s.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
It's
in the
definitely
80s.
in the 80s. And I think there's a teacher with a blackboard.
Yeah,
And the
it's gotta be
teacher's
a blackboard.
drawing on the blackboard, right? And there's people in the class shouting out and all this, and like going, "Oh yes, this," and the teacher's going, "What's this?" And they're going like that. Now this lad, all he's doing is he's got like a stare on it, a stare on
He's
the scale, and
staring
it's
at
like,
you.
dude,
He's fixed.
dude.
His vision is fixed to this guy.
Dude. Now let me just play you another bit of it, because if I can just get the right bit on this. Now I imagine the bit where it livens up. This bit, right? With this, he's imagining chasing her.
Yeah.
Or he is chasing her. You don't know.
Is
chasing her.
it starting to maybe get a bit violent? Possibly. No.
Possibly. Not
These flashes. What's he
not
seeing
too
there?
bad, 'cause we
Is it
don't
just
like
what's he
violence,
chasing her?
because he's chasing her. He wants to get her.
Well,
he
that's
loves
quite
her. He
violent,
wants her to
isn't it?
be. Well, maybe yeah, but he's chasing her, and it goes between him in the classroom looking at her and like rocking backwards and forwards, and his mouth watering and like looking down at her. And then it's like he's having these things, and you don't know if it's in his head or if it's really happening in another time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But he's chasing her.
Yeah.
And then he grabs her, and she falls down on the floor, and he's grabbed her.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
And so that's where it gets really sinister. And then I think the perfect song comes next, so there's no order change needed. The next song.
The underwear.
Yeah. Why don't you
Cut your hair. Why don't you cut your hair? Why don't you cut
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
He's
yeah.
kidnapped her,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he's kidnapped, so he's got it there.
He's got it.
He's got it in her house or his house.
I think in his house, I think his parents don't care about him. And I think well, we said earlier, didn't we, that he's got a deadbeat dad. And his mother's always out partying. So he can, his mother doesn't know. He can stay in the full weekend and his mother doesn't know. So I think he's got
Maybe he
in his house.
introduces her to his mum as his girlfriend, possibly, or something.
No, that's ridiculous. I think that his mother's not there at all,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that she's just out partying with one of her boyfriends. She's probably got
Yeah,
half a
she's
dozen,
probably got loads,
you
yeah.
know. And
Morals
he's just
of
got
an
the
alley
house, and he's just got her, and he's locked her in his bedroom, and he's in the bedroom with her, and he's basically kidnapped her, and things are now going to get really nasty.
Yeah.
Or are they?
Well,
Oh,
something
right.
might change.
Something might change.
Something
yes.
might change.
You read my mind. Because we've got number 7 left over, so let's slot that in.
Yeah. So I think he realizes what's happening. doesn't he? I think that something changed. He's realized what he's doing him right. I think
he's realised he genuinely loves her in a way. You know, like he doesn't
I think
want
he
to
sees
hurt
the
her.
fear. Yeah, I think he sees her. He feels love.
Yeah.
But he sees her.
He's got what
he sees the
wanted.
fear in her.
Yeah.
And he don't like that. And that's when something changes.
And I think he lets her out at night.
Yeah.
Late at night, he lets her go.
Yeah.
And she runs off. And then that's it. He lets her go. He doesn't harm her.
And
her
I think
at
he
all.
after that he's just like sort of stood around in his house, and I think he just goes to bed. I think
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just goes to bed.
Yeah. He just goes to bed, thinks it's sort of normal.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up.
Monday morning.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah,
isn't it? It's good,
Monday
that.
morning. Yeah.
It's good, that.
Brilliant.
And get the words up, because I noticed something in the words here.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You see,
I want. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But it's like, I want a refund.
I want a refund. I want a refund.
It's sort of
He wants
seeing
to do
the
it
error of
again.
his ways.
He wants to do it again. He wants to restart. Basically.
He's seeing the error of his ways, basically.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
knows something's coming, and I'm thinking, if when we met this into a film, Jarvis,
Yeah, Jarvis. Elbis and
Every class
Elbis.
musical.
World class email at gmail.com. Jarvis,
Mm.
if you're listening, get in touch.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
We'll sort it out for you.
We'll talk.
But I imagine here that he's in bed and he's sort of going between, he knows he's done wrong, but then he's sort of still partly deluded.
Yeah.
But then the camera like goes and you can see the police getting in the cars and they're driving to his house now.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Now we've got one song left over. What's that?
Baratalia.
No, we haven't. Number 5. Disco 2000.
Oh, God, yeah.
But what's good about Disco 2000 is, let's all meet up in the year 2000.
So he's looking at the future.
So I'm thinking he's been sentenced.
Oh,
And he's so deluded.
yes.
He's so deluded that he thinks that she's going to be there
It's
for
utter
him.
delusion,
Utter
isn't it?
delusion.
Yeah.
So he thinks Well, we've done it with all of them, so we'll just put the beginning of that on Caldo.
Yeah.
But he's thinking, let's all meet up in the year 2000, and he's thinking.
So
that when
he's
he
still
gets
got
out-
hope, do you think?
Yeah, because it's like 1985 or something. He's got 15 years. For
Yeah,
being a
yeah.
weirdo. He's getting sentenced and they're taking him down, but he's still looking at the girl because she's there crying. She's come to see him.
Yeah.
But he's looking at her and he's thinking, let's all meet up in the year 2000. And he thinks that's going to happen. Fits, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's utterly deluded. Yeah.
Fits, which leaves us one more song, which is
Baratolia.
correct. Now let's have a listen.
Perfect way to end the album and the narrative.
Now, with this, my own opinion, I don't know what you think. I imagine this taking place in about 2020. The guy's still incarcerated and he's in a nut house. And I imagine he's sat in the nut house and there's all the rest of the nuts there with straight jackets on or whatever. And the end of the play is this. He's like, takes his pills and it's, I would like to take you by the hand. And then at the end, move, move, move. And they're all dancing in the straight jackets and stuff.
Maybe
and that's the
like
end. That's the end. Brilliant ending. Perfect.
Maybe he still like imagines with him or something, or
Maybe.
like,
Maybe.
or he sees her on the telly or something.
I don't know about that. Perhaps.
What if she's like a news reporter, possibly?
Don't know. I think it's a bit lame.
No.
I think he's just in the nut house. And possibly, you could, in the film version of the music. I mean, I'm thinking stage and film for this.
I think he should see her though, and he's like sort of just looks, and then it's sort of like that Psycho where he's just like smiling.
Yeah.
I think it might be like that a bit.
I don't know. I like my ending.
Well, I like mine to be fair. I think he needs to see her.
Leave a comment. I tell you what.
Because I think something needs to happen in that ending. I don't think it should just be
tell you
goes
what.
to the nut house and that's it.
If you're watching this on YouTube, dislike if you like Elvis's ending, or like if you like Elvis's ending, and then we'll see.
Anyway.
Then we'll see.
I prefer dislikes.
Well, we'll see who gets the most, Elvis or Elvis. So do that, or leave a comment if you want. Which ending do you think's best?
Listen,
Elvis's or Elvis's?
Yeah.
God.
Just comment which is better, Elvis or Elvis.
Yeah.
Just comment. And if you've got your own ending, maybe, or if you think you could change
Well,
that
we're not
narrative.
really interested, are we, in other people's endings?
To be honest, we don't care
got
because
your
it's
own ending,
it's not
do
going to be
your
as
own
good as
podcast
mine.
like
It's not going to
this.
be as good as ours.
Yeah.
So,
But,
don't even bother
Well,
commenting.
I'll tell you what
I don't
then,
care.
before we finish,
I
if
don't
you're
even care.
someone who's going to listen to this album now, which you probably will, or you've
Don't
already
care.
been listening to it, but next time you listen to it in this order. Let me just work this out.
Oh, yeah.
The order you need to listen to different classes, to make different class, world class. The order you need to listen to is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 7, 11, 5, then 12.
Do you want to repeat that, just in case they didn't get that?
Yep. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 7, 11, 5, and then 12. And that's the order.
And I think that's the order. If you want to listen to that in the order, you're going to get a phenomenal narrative.
Yes.
From
And
that.
imagine our stories you go through.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you want it to be world class,
We did that for free, to be fair, didn't we?
well, you're not paying out. You should be really.
Buy some merch, say thank you.
Yeah. Hoodies.
That's
I
it.
tell you what, we've had some customers who've got some hoodies.
Mm.
We've had some feedback and they say the bloody quality.
And warm. One of them said warm.
Did he really?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Well, it's the ideal winter gift.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, one of them said they fit his arms perfectly, and he usually
Oh,
doesn't.
really?
Yeah, he usually doesn't get arms.
There's a lot of
that fit
problems
there.
with his arms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there was one thing I wanted to address. Apparently, well, it's not really apparent because I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen we've got a Russian friend. One of
Yeah, he's disappeared now, hasn't he?
yeah.
that's-
Sorry.
That was nice though.
It was
if
a nice
you are
comment
there,
from you.
Nikolai. If you are there, Nikolai, please comment again. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mentioned about coming to England and partying with Elvis and Elvis. It might be possible. We don't know yet. You'll have to pay
The
for your
thing
own trip
is,
and that.
I don't really know you that well,
Ah.
and I don't like to party with people that I don't know deep down.
But it was nice to hear you. But anyway, we can't address this to one fan. We better close it out now, haven't we? I think.
Yeah, I
'Cause,
think so.
You know, it's been a good laugh. This.
Oh
in a
yeah,
way.
don't get me wrong.
In a
I mean,
way.
people say, "Oh God, you know, they're not doing their usual thing anymore. They're sick of it. We're not. Season 2 is coming. Season 2 is coming.
Yeah.
This is just we're literally.
This may be a one-off.
We was
This may be a
bored.
one-off.
We was bored, and we thought, yeah, we'll just bring
Yeah.
you this. The Elbis and Elbis album review show.
We don't
So,
even think that this has been planned for ages because of the quality of it.
listen,
But
if you listen to different class, let us know what you think. And if
Yeah.
you think it's anything
different
other-
to us,
then it's brilliant and one
You're
of the
wrong.
best albums ever.
you are wrong.
You're an idiot and you're wrong,
Yeah.
so don't even bother.
Let's. Shall we do the close then?
Well, we've been Elbis and Elbis.
Yeah.
You've been world class.
Different class.
Love it.
The Elbis and Elbis Album Review Show.
Yeah, that.
Quality.